gratitude to be alive. Isn't that right? Once again, he spared us. Isn't that right? Get one more opportunity to come back and say, do it again. Isn't that right? So we're appreciative for that. Definitely appreciative we had the opportunity to go and see CJ Layla. Appreciate Most High allowing us to be able to go and do that. Spend a little time with him. And that quoting wrong Bible verses. Man, quote some stuff, and I said, man, he said, yeah, he said, Payne, I tell you. He said, well, you know, like the Bible said, make you closer to the Father. I said, I looked off at the clock. He said, don't it say that? I said, CJ, I ain't never heard that, and I ain't never preached it. I don't know where you got that from. He said, I started patting it, trying to get it straight. Like, oh my goodness, he's choking, man. That's that. He said, Book of Romans. I said, Book of what? We like Book of Romans. I like, man, I don't know where you got that from. He just been sitting there, Paul, Peter, John, one of them. I said, yeah, that sounds, but definitely was good to see him. Appreciate him for standing and hanging in now. Definitely ain't easy. You know, one thing, you know, we talked about, and, you know, he did acknowledge, you know, when we going through, we have to be an example for people. It ain't always in how you try, but sometimes it's how people see how you persevere while you're struggling. You see somebody after they come out, you know what I'm saying? But while you going through, you know, people watch like Yahushua, they had to watch him go through. It wasn't just a matter of just watching him get up the third, you know, Shalishi, third, you know, Yom, third day. But it was the fact that they watched him over the course of and see him triumph. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we see the end of victory, but versus looking at when a person goes through and, you know, how they kind of weather, you know what I'm saying, without quitting, like he talked about us enduring. You know what I'm saying, enduring, well, we don't give way. And that's what we keep working on, regardless of how, you know, opposition come, regardless of how things might look. That's where your true test of strength come in at. Y'all know that, how you suffer, while you're going through. In the book of Kaf, they'll call it Peter, he talked about if any man suffer, they'll put as a Christian, let him not be ashamed. That's always some derogatory statement. But, you know, we suffer for the Mashiach. He said, let us not be ashamed because we know why we're going through. It makes a difference. You know, when you're in the world you're going through, you don't know why you're going through. Life ain't fair. It don't seem right when you're going through for Yahushua. And you kind of understand that's part of our growth. That's part of our way of entering in. We talked about on Kamashi Layla how he said how we must through much tribulation and into the Malkuth Elohim. That's all the way out. I mean, you look at how he went out. He left out here. He left out of Yahushua didn't lay on no deathbed nowhere, sent for brain and water. You all right, little Jesus? No, that man suffered that by himself. Everybody forsook him. And then while he going through, folk got the nerve to ask you something, remember me? Be like, nigga, you conscious? Remember you, nigga, what you think I'm up here for? I mean, you think about the average of us, how we are. We going through, we don't want nobody to bother, let us just kind of deal with our stuff. But he took time out to stop moot, just to let him know, you know, that he was going to be with him in paradise. And I appreciate that he didn't allow his suffering, his affliction to get in the way of his obligation. And that's what we do. You have to consider, I mean, you can read all the book you want to, and at some point you got to exemplify it yourself. That's it. You got to know him for yourself. I appreciate it because that was a good starting point, learn about all the Naviims and everybody that came through and what they endured and what they went through and how they persevered. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to do it too. Y'all know that? That's it. That's why we're here. You got to be able to do it. Everything that you read about that they did, I mean, you got to be able to distribute the same attributes, exemplify the same attributes. Otherwise, we ain't getting in. That's just being honest. Nobody don't want to move. I don't want to move, but you got to. That's part of the train. That's part of the transition to get to him. You can't get to him without that. How many of y'all want to be with him? I want to say, well, I don't know what to do it. We gotta leave him. That's just being honest. You gotta leave him, right? All right. I mean, as hard and tough as it is, that's where it's at. They're still talking about that Omicron, whatever it is, Mr. Crummy, whatever they want to call that little disease out here. It's rampant. I think I told them last night they still got 16,000 cases. Well, that was yesterday in Africa. They got like 12 states over here showing up with it. They said that thing moving faster than Delta and sweeping the place. I mean, at the end of the day, it's what it is. I just been with y'all. It's what it is. It'll be another one after this. So go ahead and lock your hearts on this one. Go ahead and get everything you get to fight Army cramming, and then somebody else coming. You just waste up so much time with this stuff. They had one healthcare professional. She stated that wearing that mask, she said it's equivalent to having a chain link fence and trying to stop mosquitoes from getting in. That's what she said. She said wearing that mask is equivalent to having a chain link fence and trying to stop mosquitoes from getting in. It don't. We was out there last night. Josh had that joker. Man, he had a butthole open on the side of the thing. That thing wasn't getting around that beard. I told him, he was sitting in the hot, we was sitting in the weight room, he had that thing. I tell him, I said, y'all tighten them things up with that. I had to throw the weight room. I said, hey, now y'all ain't got that crumb in here. Just shoot it out there, you know what I'm saying? So he had that little whole face open right here. He said, it's my beard. I mean, couldn't see his mouth. I could tell, I beard was, he said, yeah, it's my beard. I said, shoot. I said, at that point, you might take that thing out and just kiss everybody in the mouth in the weight room. I said, that thing ain't doing no good, man. It's what it is. This is the new world, as we know it. This is the new normal. People don't even realize, man, people dying every day. I'm talking about in massive grove numbers. They were showing in Peru, they had an earthquake over there, and a flood, and a mountain slide. Man, these folks can't take. We know Peru got that good cocaine. They got to pay for that. Yeah, that Peru, Peru got that real stuff over there. That's what they say now. That's what they say. So I've heard. Yeah. What happened now? At Puerto Rico, call that Peruvian flakes. Yeah, they have that be white, that thing glitter like gold. But anyway, that's what they say. So I've heard. But that man ripping that place apart. He was ripping it apart. But ever been the time to get right? It's today. It's today. Ain Smith said they buried her sister today. She had to be here just like I did. And that right, there's an appointment we had to make. People probably feel like, well, she only got 111% like she'll be here. They ain't gonna tell you that because folks hypocrite. That's just how they are. But folks don't realize she gotta be him. Mess around and go to run somewhere with somebody already gone and mess around, you be on deck next. Yep. And you come up in the mosh pot, that means you should have been trying to save yourself. Yep. That's just being honest. At the end of the day, hey, you gotta take care of yourself. Even Yahushua, with his aim was saying that, he let her know, so you go ahead and take her home. It's my fight here at that point, you know what I'm saying? You got your own struggles you gotta deal with. That's the truth. Everybody here, people think, oh man, it's like you don't love people, you don't be there. It ain't about you. If you got a heart for people, show why they living. Cause y'all look at me do some extra display for you when you leave here and you can forget it. I done all mine now. Anything I'm gonna go through your pocket. So I see you got a little change in that left. Looking for spare change. That's just being honest. Yeah. Folks put a lot, I know folks do. Folks get all them flowers, all that stuff packaged. Man, that stuff don't mean you love nobody. I've seen all the facade people can put on for a funeral. That junk don't impress me. Now, I seen a lady one time did a funeral. She done got all of that, the casket and got on and kiss her. I said, shoot, man, pull that thing out. I said, she'll get out of there. She was pissed out, pretty now walking. That woman, I just act like I ain't saw why. She just sitting there pissed. I'm like, I know you ain't real. You there sitting with her. I pull that top down. She'll get out. I know how to get out of there. That thing closed down. I ripped the top off that thing till I got out. Man, look at her. They talk like they had that one lady they had a video. They had a picture of some lady. Her boyfriend died. She gonna jump down in the grave and sat down on top of the grave. Talking about bury me with my man. I said, I gotta get out of here. Start throwing that dirt. They getting that black woman house. She coming about that hole. Like, man, let me tell you, who will let you stay and he take somebody else, you better appreciate him. So I make a fool out yourself you want to. Don't get me wrong. I ain't saying that people care is not genuine, but sometimes you put too much extra stuff you ain't got to put in there. I try to remember people how they were when they were living. I don't seen that stuff. I'd be like, man, get that body here. I already know how people going. That stuff designed to get the funeral home, tear folks all up, and come up with them old funeral home. Well, I don't even like talking to funeral home people. Really, your breath too soft. And it's cool when they talk to you. You be feeling that cold. You be like, close the windows in the window. And you look around, ain't no windows in the building. That breath, they trying to take you out of here, man. Y'all laugh, man, I'm funeral home right now, but man, they like cat. They'll suck the life out you. Oh, soft talking. Come on. Know that we're here for you. Oh, that's that. You be like, man, why y'all in my eye like a, oh, man, what need for what? Yeah, didn't want to put their hand on you like that. They be like, you know what I'm saying? We just want you to know. They trying to see if your heart breathe. They want to see if your heart we've been fluttering. And they be like, here's my card to you. Man, I'm not walking around with no funeral home card in my pocket. No, man, no, them jokers ain't got nothing but death on them they be talking. And they're like, get back. All that old rehearsed up stuff, man, I seen all that stuff, man. That stuff be a lot of stuff don't be game. Them folks don't pay attention. Everything they get up there and say is all rehearsed before they get up there and say it. They sit back, most of them sit outside and wait, hurry up and get through so they can run in and put their show on. To our wonder ministerial staff, we'll certainly appreciate you in the words of comfort that you spoke with the family. If it's anything that we could do for you guys, like we're going to be standing in line, we got orders or something. You are a funeral home to ready. We don't ever want to see you again. All right, you can stop by the facility. If I can help it, I don't want to stop by them. And I smile at from male to eye and stuff in there. Yeah, I don't know. More power. I ain't scared of them. Ain't nobody crazy. I know what you can do. I had a chick one time. Me and her were we gonna get married one time. She done died now. And her dad told me he'll kill a nigga and bury him for free. I said, you know what? Man, you ain't gonna make it. I just said, some folks you can look and tell, nigga be all that threatening folks. Like, man, that's gonna break up now. Bury him, kill a nigga and bury him for free. He had went on to Vietnam, he was a Marine, he the only one came back out of the group. I seen that picture, I said, yeah. That's how you consider for a conversation. She said, yeah, I ain't scared of that nigga, but that's just gonna break up anyway. You know right? You know what I'm saying? Just for sake, you know what I'm saying? For peace sake. What we talking about burying people for free and all that old stuff. Ooh, when I got a coupon. But anyway, it's time to get right, folks. It's getting late. We've been going a long time. And that's the main thing we're concerned about. We're trying to make sure we get right. Y'all hear me? When the word comes, the bar comes, it's always time for self-examination for every one of us. Ain't time to examine, see what nobody else said. It's time to examine what we had. The book said, examine yourself and see whether you've been Amanah. It said, prove your own self and know whether or not you be the Mashiachs. Unless he said you be reprobates. Y'all know that? What do we know? Who the first people we know he called them reprobates? Good answer. Good answer. That man just shut you down, Pastor. Was you already thinking about the answer? He said, no, he wasn't. That's right, the Benim of Shamuel. Huh? He let him have it. So he ain't got time to be fighting in there right there. First of all, you don't even see his fruit over there, do you? He ain't going to fight them fruitless preachers over there. But yeah, that's exactly right, the Benim of Shamuel. After Shamuel had gotten old, the army asked them about, they wanted to get somebody else to put them over them. And Shamuel was kind of hurt about that because typically the men inherited. So they went on and he went to seek Yahuwah about it. Yahuwah told him, don't worry about it. So let them go ahead and have it. So let them go ahead and choose what they want. Isn't that right? They'll learn. Go ahead and let them try. They'll learn. That's how you got Shaul. Shaul's man, he told them that Shaul going to have them niggas running behind his chariot. They'll learn. Shaul made niggas run behind him. Isn't that right? That's how you got your malak. They didn't want to take who Yahuwah had put over. He gonna let her get. They were worthless. He said they were men of Belial. They were worthless. We should have waited on Yahuwah to see how he moved. That's why sometimes before you move fast on stuff, it's good to learn how to wait to see the outcome. One thing I tell everybody here, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, I assure you, ain't no preacher can get over. It's not possible. It won't ever be to hit good either. It won't ever be to it too. That's a bad position to take to you to try to manipulate people and beat people. You're gonna pay for it. That's a horrible way to go out of here and worry about trying to gain from beating the arm of Alaph. You won't make it far. Unfortunately, our people ain't got smart enough to realize that, and then got smart enough to realize why we need to get out of here. I won't ever stop that plight. We got to get out of here. Got to get our children, get our wives, do just like Jacob did. Get our children and our wives and get them out of here before it's too late. That's why I kind of get on the Akeem a lot of times. They might wonder why. They might think, oh, preacher hard. I'm hard because I want you to make the right decision now while y'all labor. So once you wait and you get too old and you get decrepit, then talking about time, nobody don't try to have a nigga on no crutches. Try to roll you in no wheelchair, your tire get flat. We got to try to flee to the heart. I be trying to push you up no stone mountain and leg get weak. You been run somebody over and went back down there and took out the whole congregation. This our time to go while we're young, while we're still able. Y'all know that? Now, where do you get broke down? I said the older you get, the softer you get. The softer you get, then you succumb more to what you kind of deal with and just say, well, this is just my reality. I'm just stuck here. No, you stuck here because that's your mental state. I ain't stuck nowhere. Don't let nobody get you like that. Don't succumb to it. You got to try to fight it. Just like any ailments or anything else, you got to fight it. If you don't fight it and you succumb to it, it'll take you over. A lot of our winning or failing comes right here in the mind. Now, why the book going to tell you consider him that endures a contradiction of Cartaine? Lest you grow what? And do what? See that? You got to consider somebody strong, somebody that made it through. Isn't that right? That's the truth. A lot of y'all, that's why you don't push as hard, because you just don't consider. You don't put no measuring stick some higher than what you do to give you something to kind of shoot for, get you some aspirations for something. That makes sense? That's what you got to do. You got to get a whole new idea. If you're going to beat this system and what this system set up to do to you, you're going to have to get you a different idea. Different behavior, different conversation. Everything, all that got to change if you're going to beat it. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck like the rest of our people in here. They ain't going nowhere. These people destined to get up and go to work and do nothing. Ain't that right? Ain't no real plan of action. Real plan, first of all, you get this thing right where you need to get it with Yahuwah. I guarantee you anything else you got going to work. Go ahead and get you a business, get you something working. They ain't got that right with Yahuwah. I guarantee they're going to be the thing going to take you out. Because that's not what you were told to do. Y'all got it? Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. They don't understand that. They don't understand. I know you don't. Everybody want all kind of stuff. I want to do this. I want to do this. Hey, you consider to actually put in the plan and making sure, first of all, that you're right. How much regard you think he going to have for what you're trying to do when he look at the regard you got for what he got going on? Exactly. Just be practical. Let's just be practical. Where are you at with him? So what good is your business going to do? If it's a success, he only let you be a success because he's going to let it take you out. Because you haven't followed protocol. He told you to seek ye first the Malkuth Elohim and his Sadiq. And all his Sadiq. Not some, he said, and all this will be added. When you add, you already got something. Right? You had that right? It's already something there. First thing you put is salvation. He said the rest of it, I'll put it there. Just like Nuar, when he started to multiply, he was going to add to them. They already had salvation. Reason why I know it, because they didn't die with everybody else. What sense it made for, why he didn't tell them to be fruitful and multiply and replenish while they were here, when they were here with everybody else? First of all, you need to get saved. Makes absolutely no sense to start multiplying and add nothing till you get saved. Everybody he found that went and multiplied horses and all that stuff, it wound up being their fall. Wound up put them in derision. He told them, he said, don't multiply them. He said, you ain't supposed to have all them white. I don't want you to have them. I know they said stuff going to turn your law. People try to get too much. A lot of stuff people don't realize. Get salvation, learn how to follow. You can't get salvation unless you learn how to follow. Everything else will work out. I guarantee it. Everything else he got for you will work out. Y'all all right? Yes, sir. But I know y'all going to try it a different way, because you just got to see. That's the only way to do it. Got to see the old man be wrong. He don't know what he be talking about. That's got to be your first thing you got to do. See, I had to let everything I had go. Everything go first. I had to learn how to suffer and be able to still take on other responsibility and still maintain my first responsibility, which was shepherding this Adar. Before you guys got here, had to learn how to show myself I'm gonna know with that first, with the little and the few, and then it got to cost me something. So if you ain't got nothing in it, you don't care about what happened to it. See, I got something in it. Y'all got it. I ain't just getting in it. I got something in it. I went years working and going. Just remember, now they need to call me. I be in the truck working, still get him. The whole time I done passed this, 18 years. How long is it about? 18, 19 years? Shoot, I ain't been laid over 5 times. Isn't that right? How many of y'all got that testimony? That's what I thought. Don't even worry about trying to count it, because it don't matter to you. You got to show yourself armor now. A lot of times, folks, I'm going to try to be like, just shut your mouth. Don't worry about trying to be like preacher. Don't let that be your mark. I want you to set your mark even higher than me. If you're only going to set it where I'm at, you got to go further than where I'm at. I want y'all to go further than me, so you start making the right decisions now. You got to sacrifice. Been tested, been tried. Shh, man, please. You think I wasn't tested? I tell my wife was gone for seven months. Shoot, you think I ain't getting horny? You think I ain't want nobody else? I had to suffer and wait it out. See, what if I'd have jumped the gun and went to run fast and figured that was it? Got to go on and get mine. Had to wait. After a while, Yahuwah come on back and fix it. Say, you know what, you had to wait it out and trust. My mind was like this. I don't know, the world going on and it's spiraling. You just holding on and waiting, trusting and believing that this man will do what he said. You don't see it, but you got that mind to say, I got to wait and see what's going to be the outcome. And I set my mind and said, if this is my life, that's how it's going to be the rest of my life, I got to just keep going. At the end of the day, I had responsibilities. And I knew this came. And you talking about wrestling with something, and you got to come, you got to look at people that sit around and wondering and questioning, and you can sit and wonder, how you doing all right? How you coming along? They checking you, trying to see when you're going to fall, when you're going to faint, when you're going to quit. Head folks told me, said, go and take a break. So we'll be here. So go on and get your family, get your family situated and everything. So we'll be here, we'll wait. I said, go where? I said, I can't leave to go nowhere. I got to be right here. That was my first obligation. Turn around, walk off and leave this. Then what he going to do? What's going to happen? They're going to run again and be gone. They're going to run again and be gone. That's why I get what? I ain't coming back. That must be what the law meant for me. Man, you're human. You're human. But you got to have a mind. You got to be willing to stand for what you believe. I mean, if he can only just, and then you learn to understand, nobody wants to go through stuff. Nobody wants to suffer. Nobody wants to be without. Nobody wants to be alone. Nobody wants to be hungry. Nobody wants to be thirsty. Nobody wants to be sick. These are not jobs people want. People pray, Lord, if you would, make me sick. Lord, if you would, let me be by myself. Lord, don't let me be able to pay my bills. But these are things that he put us in so you can be a testimony where he's a keeper. He'll bring you out if you wait. You don't know the outcome. You'll assume time ain't over if you living. And people will quit it though. It's over. It ain't over if you still living. Y'all got it. So I learned how to wait. I know he'll let that and build me up, and that give me strength. And that's why I had confidence in it. When something happens, I just hold on and wait. You don't see it. Man, 7 months don't sound like a lot, but them days long, they stretch. Every day a mozzarella. That thing just be. You be like, the sun ain't went down yet. That thing just be stretching. Man, woo. Everything in the world, boy. I tell you, dog, he said, man, my foot almost slipped. You be looking, man, you see everybody that got down. Everybody, man, you can't find nobody by themselves. When you go, you don't know 100,000, I don't know nobody but me by myself. That devil work on your mind. Saying to work on your mind, he'll beat you down, you get in room. Got to get around and stay strong. You got to hang on. Got to keep fighting and going through. That's what make you. Somebody got to be that. Somebody got to be that testimony that he'll keep them. If you with him, he'll keep it. He'll give your Lord desire. I heard that all. I used to say to myself, yeah, I did. I used to say, he don't give it to somebody else. I'm just going to keep working. I ain't going to never get mine. I did. I used to, I'm being honest. I set myself to where I wasn't going to work. People say, he'll give you the, you say, okay. It just sounds like a script people be telling. You know what I'm saying? But if you wait on him, I'm telling you, and I counted myself out, and I never looked at, I ain't going to get mine. I just felt like, wait, I'm not going to get mine. This is my life. I'm destined to do. Take on all that responsibility, work to the bone, just keep doing what I'm doing, and I stay here and I got to do this job. That was it. I was going to do it regardless. I just set my mind, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to let that deter me and do it. Come right back, and he'll give it to you. You got to be willing to not let this stuff and people be your everything. You can't do it. You just can't let them be it because people let you down. People will let you down. You have to have a mind to be consistent for yourself. I'm here for myself. And saying that entails I got to do this job. And I can't do it grudgingly. That's what I like too. Like your mom says, get in and shut up. Fix your face. You be like, they want to, and then you know how many of y'all remember stuff like that? You just can't get no woman sat there. Fix your face. Shut up now. Shut it up now. You like, I got to do this, and I got to fix my face, and I got to shut it up. Now, I don't hear another peep. That's what Yahuwah want. He said, I want that reverence from you. I want that respect from you. Fix it. He said, get it together now. Now, got to get together now and fix your face. But you got to put that means you got to put aside how you still be hurting. You still feel that beating. And you got to fix your face. Yep. Quit that sniffing. You need that sniffing. That's part of your comfort. Isn't that right? I'm hurting. I need to cry. That man said, no, you got to fix your face. That's how it was. Couldn't even cry. Had to suck it, had to fix your face. Couldn't suffer. When you're going through, you don't never know why until you come out. And realize it's to build you up. It's to build you up. People don't understand it at the time you're going through. It's to build you up. Got to. That's why you know how you going to really say what he can do you ain't been through with him? How you know he'll keep it you ain't never need to been kept? How you know he'll save it you ain't never been saved? That's right. See, after a while you'll be like everybody else. You just reciting something. He got them. You want to be a testimony. Y'all got it. That's it. Those people he kept under the altar, under him, those folks kept that testimony. Those folks had a testimony. Isn't that right? And when the Zakanim, the elders, and Shamaim began to ask Yehukanan, said, who are these? He said, I don't know who are they. He said, these people here, so they come out of great tribulation. That's right. That's what he said. It said they had washed their robes in the dome of the Lamb. He said, therefore, he said, that's why they're before the throne of Elohim. Y'all know that? He said, and Elohim is their Elohim. Y'all hear that? And so he wipe away all tears from their eyes. Isn't that right? Them folks suffer something. Them folks did some crazy. You don't wipe tears from no other eyes ain't been crying. Them folks cried. Them folks suffered to get down. And he said, you know what? Say, keep them people right before the throne. That's why I got to be. I got to get around that throne. Isn't that right? I got it. I look around somebody standing outside looking around. Nigga, you get your behind out from over here. Isn't that right? I need to wipe them tears from my eyes. You know, I need a man to fill them gaps you got. That's the truth. But then look what it took for them to get there. And we just looking at that laughing gas all the way up in there. You ain't gonna laugh and gas all the way up in there. You gonna suffer. We got to suffer. Y'all know that? If we go, y'all set your mind around it. If that's not something you want to do, don't do this. Do something else. This is a suffering way. This is a press way. That's the way we get in. Yeah, you gonna pay for what you do. I gotta pay for it. I'd rather pay for it here than I get down. Yeah. Ain't that right? Even Cup told me, where he told me March Park gotta start at. Gotta start. You know, he said, if it first begin with us, he said, what you think gonna be the end of them people that don't shama the Amat? Yeah. Them people gonna suffer, man. I'd rather suffer mine now. Y'all hear? That's what he told the rich man when he came down to Lazarus. He told that man about say he fed sumptuous every day. Said Lazarus said they had sores on their body. Ain't that right? Can you imagine the dog had to come up and lick his wound? And said both of them moved. Said Lazarus went right to Abraham's bosom. Said the rich man went down. Said he was in torment. He there that flame was hot. He could feel it too. Said if you would, said sit him down. Said let him just touch, just dip his tongue and some dip his finger, one just cool my parched tongue. Said, listen, man, there's a great gulf between y'all two. Said, man, Lazarus can't cross over there, and you ain't coming over him. Said, you had yours, every you. There's a lot of these folk got that, and you'll look at them cunningly. Yeah, you look at, man, I like to have that life. No, I'm not the end of it. I know the end of that thing. I seen a lot of folk lives. So I know the end of yours. Y'all got it? I know the end of that. I look at them and say, I already know the end of yours. That's what you got. You ain't even got enough to pay for where you going. You and your whole group. That's why it's our benefit. Let's get this thing right while we're here. Isn't that right? Whatever chastisement we got to take, let's take it while we're on this side. Whatever we got to get right, let's get it right on this side. Because when we cross over, that's it. That's it. You can't take no more correct. As long as you got breath, as long as you got a mind you can hear, you're in a position where you can get corrected, you can get right. And he'll give that to you. Some folk, he don't even give them this opportunity. Man put on my law, he'll tell some folks, say, no. I had folks get on their knees and beg me. Am I making this up? You heard about it before? What? How y'all did it? Y'all seen it? Shoot. I had folks said it, get on their knees and beg me. They done seen it. Tell them how I broke down too and gave them repentance. Told them that stuff don't move me whatsoever. And my mind didn't blink or change one time. That's where he sat me at. He begged me, call the name too. I said, don't you call that man's name no more. I'm done. When Mr. Yahuwah set himself against you, man, that's why I recome. Who decided that? I ain't getting no dice. Said, let me pick a straw. See, no. That man sealed that law and said, that's where it's at. That's where he said it at. Man, you can get on your knee, you can beg and cry. Ask Asu about it. Book said he saw it too. How he saw it? And then he got it, didn't he? Book said he couldn't find it. Couldn't find it. You was like, I don't know where you gonna get it from, because I ain't got nothing for you. Can you imagine you run like that? That man turned around and gave up everything. That man said, man, I ain't got no dependent for you. That's why a whole lot of them, how many of them messed up before made the decision after we done heard their mouth? And you hear? You know what I mean? Before them messed up, he'll never let back through him. And he done sealed that thing in iron that they not getting back in. Man, please. While you erring, you doing that man sat here, he spat you again. That's why I'm here, because of recall. I tell that man, give you this right here. You don't want to mess this up. That thing just too right. Man, that man cut you off and put that thing in. They said, man, no. They can't get in. You listen. You can ask Shaul about it. You know who he a hog? Who did he a hog? That's time. Samuel, he a hog, Shaul. Tell him he a hog. More. That's why we got this congregation, that congregation. You say your member, listen, Justin, when you had left service, your pastor holler out the answers so terrible, right? He sit down the road, yeah, he see there. It's the wrong road. But no, when Shaul, Yahuwah had told us out there, he had sent him up to destroy Amalek, the Amalekites, and all that's with him. And he only smoked what he felt like was just terrible. You know, the book said, Yahuwah said, he said, it repented me that I ever made you a malak. It repented him so bad that this man, Shaul, who he sent to go and tell him what he had done, that he sat around and he grieved for him. And Yahuwah told him, said, he was tired. I said, how long are you going to keep grieving for that man? He said, I done rejected him. No doubt he felt like if I set him and I keep plotting for him, if I keep making intercession for him, that Yahuwah hit him. He let him know, man, how long are we going to do this? He said, I done rejected him. I'm done with that. I'm already established somebody else. I need you to go down to the Beth of Yashi. I already got somebody. You've been replaced. Let me tell you something. That'll make you consider. When he put it on the Isha Elohim and tell him, listen, don't keep worrying about that. You got to keep moving these people forward. At the end of the day, I had to do with the fold. So I got one of them jobs where you had to have so much care for the arm that if one be the issue, or 2 or 5, whatever, you just had to dismiss them from the fold and had to keep moving the flock. Y'all to hold on more harder than I'm gonna hold on to. Even when people move, you had to have, it's a hard job when you nurture people, bring people in, to grow people, then people moot on you or whatever happens. Even if you had to dismiss, you put your time. I have more invested in just money. I got the time, the hours, the visitation, the things you do, you know what I'm saying, the counseling, everything you put in a person, and then they move. Or you have to say, we part ways. So it's always that. Then you have to separate what you've done, that emotion, because the flock needs you. I still have to tend the flock. So it'll look like, y'all need to know that, because it'll look like preacher don't care, your mama don't care. I gotta say that, put it on record. I care the most, but at the end of the day, if I kill too much time, I might mess around and lose another one. So I had to set myself in a position where whether a person moved or whether I had to dismiss a person silently, you have to unravel yourself and disconnect, because this arm is what he has me here for. And I know how he stands, like he was with Shaul, like Shamuel. Listen, how long are you going to mourn for him? He said, I gotta get y'all to the market. That's all you can do at the end of the day. So you guys will do a lot more crying, a lot more worryation, a lot more stuff, because yours will be the aftermath. You don't have the time and the money and the manpower and the hours been put into the person, individuals. But at the end of the day, I do. But you have to be able to separate from it, because the work still got to be complete. Y'all understand that? Yes, sir. So if you don't see me do what you do, and all over up on the bleachers and all that stuff, It ain't because I don't care. I have to move the forward. Y'all got me? Because moot is coming for every one of us. Y'all got it? So I got to keep my own open so I can try to make sure I don't let stuff creep in. And when it do, I got to be able to kill it out. Y'all got it? That's my job. At the end of the day, I just want y'all to know that. But I know people try to figure out what preacher doing this. That's my job. I can only have so much. I can only do so much. I can only go so far with things out there and do stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, this is my job. I don't hate my job. I heart my job because it also entails my salvation. This is part of my salvation. So I'm not here doing any of you guys a favor. I'm only securing my salvation. And make sure if you really want to be saved, you really want to, then you need to make sure you take care of them people. That's how I prove it. Y'all got it? That's how I prove it. Got to fight through whatever it is you're dealing with, whatever you suffer with, you just got to go through it. And that's just the end of the day. That goes with the job. Am I complaining? Not at all. Would I trade my job? No. I heard what I'm doing. I'm just stupid enough. When the man said we are food for the Mashiach, he ain't lying. I'll be honest with you. I don't know why nobody just take this job just to play with it. I don't get it. You know how much other stuff you can play with, you can be doing? Then the fool with this and tie up all your time and hours, it don't even make, the sense ain't there. The logic ain't there. What you get in the mosh pot, it don't measure up. It don't weigh up. If you're going to do this, you got to put your whole love in it. You got to put your love in it. You got to put your heart in it. You got to put your soul in it. Y'all got it. I'm telling you, you got to put everything you got in this if you're going to make it. I know it seems hard. It is. I know it's difficult. But every time one of y'all stand, every time one of y'all will turn from what you do, even turning. You know what some people do, and people don't realize this. Sometimes you'll wonder why you might make mistakes or why you made mistakes. But it takes something to be able to take correction and turn around. And he's going to use that against some people that say, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I can't take y'all looking at me, I'm out. I can't take nobody fussing at me. I can't take nobody I just can't do it. I ain't made like that. And you know what? He's going to use that person against you. He's going to use those people against you. Yeah, y'all know who the Adar Elohim is made up of? People that made mistakes. People that took correction. People that grow. People that transition. People that's in transition. The whole Adar made up of all these different, ain't talking about just here, I'm talking about all walks of life, because he got to have a witness. Because somebody going to be able to get up and say something and try to act like they're the only one. And nobody understand. He going to let them know, I assure you, I got a whole lot of those people reserved to me. They're going to be a witness against you in the mosh pot. Y'all hear me? All right, we're going to try to get ready to move forward and try to stay focused on what we got. All right, kind sirs. Most High Kudash Abba, separated Father, Hadu, again, which is thanks for all you rendered unto us. Certainly of things that we don't deserve, but because you are Hab the Abba, the fathers, you are Hab their Benim, their children. You spared our Kai one more yum to give us an opportunity that we should turn to the A'ur, which is delight. Your Dabar, which is your word, which shows us how we ought to halak, walk, that we might please you. We're sorry and we repent for any idle deed, thoughts, ideas, behaviors, or places we've gone to that could serve it or cause us to separate and be badal from you, which is separate. How to do again for the kaseed, which is the favor that you've given us, that you allowed us this opportunity to be here when there are others whose lives of their hearts, whose lives of their minds that has not been impeded upon, that they will turn to recognize that Yeshua is of you, which is salvation. We halal unto you that you will search us and see if there be anything that could be a defect curvy spine, cause us to be a midget, whatever it might be, and then we don't meet the full stature of Yahushua HaMashiach. I do for all that he rendered, his mut, his ahab, his demonstration of his works, the repentance that he set forth for us all. Let it be baraka. Let kabud and kabad be unto him, of whom you bara, you created, whom you established for alarm and alarm forever and ever, that we might be returned back unto you and seek you with our whole lob. Make us kudash, separated, set aside for a particular purpose. Let us be of the kodashim, which are your separated ones. Let us be joint heirs with the Mashiach. Lamed us, which is show us and teach us, that we might receive the engrafted Ruach HaKadosh, spirit of separation. That it might seal our basar, which is our flesh, and it might encamp about and connect our nephesh unto you, which are our souls. And as we move further, we allow that you take full control, that you get the tahalim, the praise, the kabod, the glory, and the kabad, the honor. Also, baraka those that are watching in of an earnest law. And those that not, let it be to their fall into their destruction as you regulate, as you decide. And also, please be a keeper to our young people. Continue to baraka CJ and strengthen his understanding. Keep him, his nephesh, that it be yours in the Yuma Mashpat. In the Shem of Yahushua, Yahushua HaMashiach, we palau. Let us all say, Amen. All right. Woo! What a day. I think I got to bed probably about 4 something or 5. I don't know what time was it. What time was it anyway? Anybody remember? 4 something. We still going over them stories Chris done gave us. We getting more and more, and everybody know what's the rule if you got a story to tell her we never heard. Name. Add name your birthday, and that's right, name and your age, and then you supposed to wait for permission to speak. Some of these jokers holler name birthday and start speaking. We just sat back, we like, you know we ain't gonna believe it now. You got to wait for permission to speak freely, because that means we trying to believe you. But if you just bust on out and give us your name, your birthday, and your age, and just shoot out the mouth, you know ain't no chance we're going to believe that. Okay, we're going to start here in Romans 15:4. Foundation, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's see. Listen.
For whatever nikatab before.
For whatever was written before.
Nikatab for our lamed.
It was written to teach us.
That we through endurance.
That we through going through without giving way.
And the kum of the Kitabim.
And through consolation of the writings.
Might have tikva.
Might have tikva. No. That's how that's going to work out. My young people have been at me about the Alaph Byth. I guess I need to trying to think about what I would get them to pull up to kind of get you guys to kind of look at this different. Look at this type. So kind of go 2 ways. Need to kind of stay here, but I want to make sure while we have them attentive and while they want to learn, I want them to learn. I want all of us to learn. See if that's Jeff. I think his name Brenner. Brennan. What is I think it's Brenan. Look at him. I want to see something. This is gonna be like a lot of work. See if it's Brenan. N, A-N. Okay, they got it. There's 2 N's on it. I want you to, no, let me see here. I'm say, I want you to put in, okay, Brenner, Jeff Brennan. Oh, it's N, I think it's N-E-R. Okay, and then I want you to put in history of the Alaph. Only reason why we're gonna do this, well, you don't have to, I don't think he'll call, what do they call it? I think they're gonna spell it. You gotta put this an E. Alaph. That thing, they're gonna do it B-Y. It should come up. Don't worry about it. It should come up. Let me say. It looks like there aren't many great, what in the world is that? Great matches for your search. Of course it's not. Mr. Google. No. Scroll down. Let me see something. Go to DuckDuckGo. Hold on, Joe. Brenner, history of the Alaph. I'm just trying to see if I find this. See if DuckDuckGo let us do it, so we can see if we're being blocked. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Biblical interpretation. Let's see this culture for life. Let me see what this say right quick. Yeah, let's see. Shalom. All right, scroll down. Scroll down. That's what they're gonna give us. Let's see. Let's see if they let them go through it. Come on down. He should have, hold on, introduction to the ancient, let's see right here, popular articles. Can you click that? Okay, let me see something. I don't know. Tonight, Jews Old Testament is 4,000. Post. Scroll down. It should show me the. Let me say show. But you see, when you went to DuckDuckGo, how quick you got over here. That's why I tell I don't use that junk. I don't be using no Google. I'm gonna say, let's see what this is anyway, folks. So far, I'm gonna have to we'll just work with me. We'll figure this out, okay? And the reason why I'm doing this because he all right. I read some of his stuff years ago. That's, I was trying to think. Let's see. I don't see what he says. How about that? Because we use the Alaph, but I want y'all to kind of really understand kind of why. And they'll use other stuff. I guess he give references to it. I'm just curious. This is not what I remember seeing, but we'll see. Okay. The ancient, because they use Hebrew language, was written with 22 letters, which is actually 23. Each letter with a picture, such as an ox, tent, foot, or a door. These pictographic letters are more than just sounds, identifiers, but also have a meaning. The best way to demonstrate the benefit of understanding the meaning of each pictograph is by looking at some arbitrary prefixes. Understanding the meaning of each pictograph is by looking at some, arbitrary prefix. The Hebrew language commonly uses 5 arbitrary letters for prefixes to provide additional information. Let us look at how these prefixes work and how the pictograph of the prefixes add their definitions. In each example below, we will use the arbitrary word. This is a rots. You see how they spell it? He did it with the E. And he uses them. He give you recognize what a strong is, meaning land, and add the prefix before it. The name of this letter is the Byth. It has a B sound. Y'all see that? Where my young people at, my kids? They don't come on up to the front. Those that are trying to come on to the front. I need y'all closer. Come on. Y'all come up to the front. They didn't want to ask me about it. Y'all get some seats in here. The ones that are trying to, get my young people. See, when I was growing up, you sat on the church, you sat on the front row at church, you was in trouble. Yep. I have seats over here too, wait again. Because they asked me, goodness, y'all be lap sitting in the man. I got room on here. Come on, and some of y'all come sit over here. Yeah. Come on. One or two of y'all get Antoine some room over there. We got a dance later. One of y'all, John, come on, John, drink. One of y'all got some room here? Yeah, one more get in here. Come on, so get in. Come on, one of y'all. Y'all can slide down. You can slide down. Let him slide down. You come down, son. Yeah, give him some room. Now, slide down a little more. Come on. Let's slide a little more. There you go. Slide and say, everybody come with y'all comfortable. That's good. That's too. All right, so when our young people, so all of us learn, and at the same time, we get better, because they ask me constantly about the arbory, about the alphabet. I try to run through this and try to still move and get to something else as well, but I want to try to make it as plain as possible. I want y'all to kind of understand what we do, and I try to be upfront with y'all. I'm a believer in Yahuwah, in his being Yahushua HaMashiach, in the writings, the script. So what we have to do is you look through people's information and you have to kind of watch them all the way out to see where things measure up for me. Just like Yahushua. You know, him just walk up and me just going, no, not unless you start meeting certain kind of criteria. Y'all got it? So this is the same thing we're trying to do when we start being accepting of a writing. For me, this is me, okay? I want to kind of watch you and kind of pattern to see what's your pattern, what's your direction, and then I want to kind of look at what's your influence. You got it? So a lot of people, even with him, all these people are studiers of other people's work, okay? So these people this is not all his work. Although he might give it, he'll write it. There's no way for it to be his work, simply because there's no one that is alive who was there to get the direct, identical, exact. So all these people kind of come together, read through other people's information who they find to be experts or who've been told to be expert. I'm not sold on that, okay? I'm not sold on somebody saying somebody's an expert, unless I can see your work. Even with Yahushua, these guys were not buying nothing he said until they could see the work. If you're who you saying you are, show some signs, okay? So for us, I just want to show you this is a person work. I've looked through some of his work before, okay? I think he lives in Mississippi. Him and his family, they even try to live a certain kind of a lifestyle. He doesn't subscribe to Christianity, if I'm correct. He does not subscribe to it. So I watch a person. You giving this information, you the Christian Holy Father of the Catholic Church or the Muslim faith. And then you handling something this is our life. So I want y'all to understand that this is how I live. Okay, this is not my part-time, this ain't another association. So when you're going to give me something and this is how I live, I want to know how you living. Right. How you living? What is it you, matter of fact, let's look at that first before we go any further, because it can shoot all this in the foot. Okay, we want to pull up Jeff Brenner. We want to find out his story about him first. So let's do that first. Y'all know I'm a stickler for the authors. I want to know what you do. All right, let's see. It's been a long time. Jeff, whatever name, Brenner, has authored over 20 books related to the studies of the Alaph language and culture of the Bible, and is an instructor in the biblical Hebrew, they call it, and has taught thousands how to read the Bible in the Hebrew for themselves. Mr. Brenner desires to assist his readers with proper biblical interpretation based on original Hebraic context of the Bible, so they may gain a deeper understanding and insight into the intent, meaning of the words of the scripture. So he tries to make sure you understand the word, how it entails in the scripture, and the insight into the biblical Hebrew teaching. I'm only using Hebrew because he said Hebrew. Please do not email me and text me and say, I say there's Hebrew. I had to clear this stuff up because people waste up more time a little bit, okay? Hebrew teaching are missing a key ingredient, a cultural background to language. And I told y'all about that. You got to look at the cultural background of the Bible, that they call it, to this end, and has dedicated over 20 years of research documenting connection between the language of the Bible and the culture in which it was written. Mr. Brenner, along with his wife, Denise, and their children, live in Mississippi. Val used to pick cotton for them. In a log house they built on their wooded property, they are working to build a self-sustaining homestead. You may contact Mr. Brennan through the email, but please be brief, to the point, and patient for a response, as he receives thousands of emails each month. He like me, please don't email me this stuff. I don't know if this tells about his religion, but I did remember that he did stay in Mississippi. His family, they try to disconnect and self-sustain. This is typically not one of the Christian behaviors that people do. So I kind of watch a person and where you at and what you do. See, for us, you can't study the language and not get involved with the language, and some of it doesn't begin to affect or change your ideas. You know what I'm saying? Even the book say even communication. How? Because that's what you're constantly hearing and that's what you're constantly surrounding, then you tend to take on some form of that behavior. So when you start to look into our writings and realize how far it goes back, and it actually, it wasn't just Byth in retrospect or in respect to salvation, the language that they use, this is an everyday communication. There wasn't, I'm gonna go to the bell, then I'm gonna go to the liquor store. Whatever they say or form a conversation or formulate a conversation had to come from the Alaph. You got it? And with looking at what the letters act, I like character better simply because characters act out something. So looking at how these characters more or less acted out, then you have to consider, to me, you had to consider what word are you going to try to build from that, based off of it being its root. You see what I'm saying? Just like when we learn words they use, like just for instance, when we looked at Shabur, we started looking at he was willing to make an oath, which was more abundant, right? Then we learned it was complete. The root was Shabbat, for Shabbat, meaning complete. And they used this, and for them to understand something complete, the first thing they understood complete, which made sense, was a week. So when Elohim was bara, creating, it wasn't complete until a week. So it made sense that when we look at something being complete, we associated it with something that we knew to be an end of, to be, you know what I'm saying? So these are things that, are a little different when we look at how our counterparts kind of write and they do things. A lot of their words are just too open, but for us, a lot of things were more plainly spoken. With us, we had to put a lot of fillers in it, a lot of enhancers and other things. It was just plain to the point. All these things stood without, they weren't argumentative. It's what it is. Y'all got it? So they understood something being complete like a week. When you hoosh up on the two, he said it is complete. So it would make sense if he said it was finished, it was complete. What was he going to do after that? Who said that? Listen to this. Say it louder. Say it louder so I can hear you. That's it, the same volume. Say it louder, y'all can hear you, sir, please. Rest. There we go in English. Because that would be associated with complete. Y'all got it? So you understood after that what we taught to do in this unit. Why? Because you should have finished all your work. That's why it would make sense on Shabbat for me to go to work. Because the statement of itself means complete. So if I'm going back to still work, what does it say? It's not done. You see how they look at things versus us? It's complete, but I need to just I need a little bit more. Then you should have never said it was complete. When Yahuwah sat down, the book declared he was through with all his labor. That's why he says to us, well, he that has entered into his rest, from who? Which means what for him? For the person. It's done. He's done. There's nothing else. It's done. There's no reason for. So you understand where the transgression come in? We come to this part, and you still need to go to work. He needs to go out here. He needs to cuss. He needs to go fix a Mercedes or a BMW. Then it's not complete. So then you haven't entered into his rest. Because this rest was established for us. We weren't made for the rest. It was established for us. So our transitioning over, the purpose of when we moot, we look at that point, what is it that I can do here? Nothing. I'm complete. It's finished. I'm done. That's why we look at going to the grave. From that point, resting. When Shaul, who they'll call King Saul, when he decided to get a soothsayer to summons up Shemuel, you know what Shemuel asked him? Why did you wake me up from where? From my rest. Meaning I was complete. I was finished. Why would you get me back up? So you see, that kind of gives us a little bit deeper look into what we do versus what they kind of just tell. Like Shabbat, what is that? I mean, the Sabbath day. What is Shabbat? The Sabbath day. What, the seventh day? It signifies something being complete. That's why we don't label. That's why we won't go work. That's why we put it aside. Because we're done at that point. Y'all got it? So when he calls us from Kai to Mut, what are we learning? It's symbolic to the Shabbat for us. It's finished. We're done at that point. So we're working to get to complete. That's right. That makes sense. Yes, sir. What are we working for, my young people? What are we working for? Perfection. You done heard that before. But it's nothing I'm going to say you ain't heard before. Completion. What we working for? Take time. To what now? Shamayim. We'll get that when we complete. Y'all got it? That's what we're looking at when we're complete. What we working for? Good answer. That's right. So we're working for completion, okay? Okay, let's see something. I'll just read a little bit. Come on, slide down before we go back home. Y'all know I'm using up. Don't be looking for a whole bunch of reading today when I get through this. I'm out here. Feel great. All right, let's go. Shalom for us, shalom. Because all he's doing is the O. He's saying that the U is doing the O at that point. My name is Jeff Brenner. More about me and my family. My wife is Denise. We would like to welcome you to the Ancient Hebrew Research Center and hope you enjoy our visit here. I'm often asked why my definition of the biblical Hebrew words do what? From all others. See, that's why I told you all them charts before we sing. Because everybody went researching, some people lazy, and some people just, basically all these people do is copycat. The reason why here's different because if you're studying, you'll start to find some things and realize, basically, I read it, but I know where you got that from. Right. And that person was lazy. All they did was copycat it. You should have really went more in depth to understand why you did it. Versus, that's what a lot of times people just keep just copying stuff and sending out verses. That's what you see what he's saying. People ask him, when you look, he's going to show you, like, when we look, that's why when I use, like, Gamal, the Gamal is a camel. It's a camel versus what is actually shown to be. And see, it was our time we took stuff and we've gone, just like the saw, it's going to be argument. The son going to tell it's the enemy. He's going to tell you it's actually a trail, which makes sense. Y'all got it? We told about the fact, stand ye in the, and do what? And what you supposed to ask for? That's right, the ancient way. So we've been looking, it's always about a path we're trying to get to. Y'all got it? And where's the tube way? And when you find it, walk therein. They understood how important patterns were. Okay? So you can get, what was again? For Yahuwah. So when Yahuwah came and he established, on the sixth, matter of fact, we'll come back. Pick me up, save that, the book of Barashit, because I got to work this in. Y'all don't believe it till I tell you. I don't have that made up. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I've been with y'all. I ain't going to tell y'all no lie now. Ain't too much I can't do. Right. It just ain't too much I can't do. I just been with you. We get up there, we throw it, I'm going to go get it. We'll put it together with the help of Mr. Yahuwah. Because at the end of the day, we want to get understanding. Well, let me tell you, we ain't under nobody restraint. We ain't under nobody else content that, well, we can't do that. This supposed to be Bible study. We don't nobody restraint. We're here to get understanding. Because we want to be saved. That's right. And the only way for us to be saved, which is delivered, then we have to follow a certain protocol. Okay? There are certain things that have to be demonstrated for salvation. So our goal is to get to the nitty-gritty. We don't want to just keep waiting. I don't know, Lord. Please just tell me, Lord. If I'm going to tell you, it didn't make no sense to leave the information. Come on. It didn't make sense to leave the information. You look for me to just do all this talking and just tell you something. So we're going to have to search and seek it out. Okay? Now, is Jeff Brenner the only authoritarian on this? No. I'm just pull one up, we'll look, and I just like for you to look at, learn something about your author. A lot of people take people book, they don't know nothing about these people. Now, I always tell y'all, know something about, because there's always influences of why people choose to do stuff. So when people question him on, how did you put this for this versus this? That means he has to be able to do what? Defend it. Defend it, because I broke protocol. Everybody says this is what it is. He said, no. I'm always asked about this, constantly, so I can defend and show you why, because I'm going to show you culture. I'm going to show you behavior. I'm going to show you that things couldn't actually mean what people told you based upon. Even we talked about before, we talked about him being the El Shaddai. The doll, the door. Isn't that right? The door. The what kind of door? Or hanging door. That's right. Remember, he put in Jerusalem was a what? No, Jerusalem, the city. What did he tell him it was? Hills? That's right. Jerusalem, hills and valley. Y'all see the hills? So they're down here gonna be what? Which is you, valley. V-A-L-L-E-Y, right? Okay, feel great. Don't make me go back there again. Hold on. Don't make me, I throw it. So, we got hills, valleys. Y'all see it? Yes, sir. This also be two tits.
That's right. All right.
That's right. The shun is two. The doll is hanging. Guess what these right here? Hanging tit. T-I-T. All right. Y'all brother, hold on. Okay, just showing you just how you could look at this. Because you got your heels, right? You got your valleys. So he gonna get them to what? Do or where? And where it's gonna come down to? To the tent. And he talked about them now. I'm just shooting from him. Just shoot you how things look. Because you're gonna look at what your words mean. Right. The doll means the swinging or hanging. Shun is two, the two T's. I'm all Shaddai, the mighty tit. When they say I'm gonna fill, why am I gonna put them in a land filled with milk and honey? Where they getting milk from? And they gonna drink from Shamaim. We mean they down. Who else drank from the babe? I don't know all this stuff, folks know. I can look at just clear-cut, simple discipline to things to look at. People take stuff and shoot us all these places. The unknown. How's that going to work for them? These people weren't going to go anywhere without him telling their name. People have code where you tell your kid, when I was coming up, we was in school, elementary, you were told, I don't care if it's your uncle, I don't care who it is, if they don't come up and say blue, don't go with them. So people would tell you, because we had to walk to school, don't get in the car with nobody unless they give you, how many grew up when their parents told them a code word, somebody pick them up? If they don't use that word, don't go. Well, when Mushak came down to get us, we weren't going to, what is his name? What is his shim? Because we want to just jump in, we're not finna just jump up and leave out of here with you. What is his shim? So all this would be significant. So what say they make? They want to know his shim, and they finna be delivered. Because we've been taught not to get in the car with nobody. We don't just take off with nobody without knowing your shim. So you don't come and give me a name. We don't know what it means. We just know he told us. Does that make sense? They ran off behind something. They don't know what it is. They want to know what his name was. They have a pattern. Whew. 1, Barashit chapter 1. Chapter 1. No, 2 and 4. Make it 2 and 1. 2 and 1. So, what I like to be able to do as time go on is just try to give y'all as much as I know. No, I can't do that. That's not gonna happen. I don't even know what I know. So I ain't gonna be able to tell y'all that. Cause we both gonna be sitting there looking at each other saying, man, you're like, preacher, I ain't know you know that. I said, me neither. We both gonna be learning from preacher. But no, I wanna make sure that I'm clear with how I see things. I want y'all guys to know, I know y'all might, why you always say, because everybody uses a prejudice when they teach. If it's something people don't, if I go make you a sandwich, you're not getting no mayonnaise on it. If you leave it up to me, you're not getting it. I'm not gonna get it. If you, I thought you would have put mayonnaise on it. I don't know why I don't like mayonnaise, so I'm gonna have a prejudice. That's my prejudice though. You got it? That might not be your prejudice. When you get it, and you go get me something, tell you, you might mayonnaise the thing out. I'm be like, and it's gonna be to my dislike. And because my dislike, I'm gonna be resistant to what you're trying to give me. So I need you guys to be free-minded enough to where you don't let disciplines or likes hurt you, but you're free enough to kind of understand how people do things. You need, for us and where we're going, you have to have a certain amount of tolerance because we're learning. And if you get stuck with your one like, it's gonna hurt you from growing. When we first started last time, I had no, but it hurt us because it kept us from moving to where we are now. So even with me, I have to at points drop some of my dislikes at least enough to learn. Just like getting out to learning the cool. I had no reason to learn on the cool for what? It's not our I don't need. But then the people that transgendered our writings using the cool discipline. And I had to go on, okay, then the cool, what are they actually saying in the cool? Here, the cool, they don't know, they just recite. The cool, I had to go learn vowels. Well, how do vowels work? They're looking at tongue, air restriction. Now, as dumb, let's do this. Let's look up vowels. What's the definition to a vowel? I want these kids to learn this. Since we're talking, okay? And adults. So if y'all have a question while I'm talking, you can say, move fast, I want to learn. Okay, a vowel, okay? And see, a speech sound which is produced by comparatively open configuration of the vocal tract. It's the way you open your mouth and how you breathe. I don't know what these bastards got put all this extra wordage up here, okay? Basically, it's how you do it. Give me a vowel. I. Now let me ask you a question. Why did you say that was a vowel? Because you didn't use the T. That's right. It wasn't a restriction in the vocal when he did it. I. You see that? Give me a consonant. F. That's right. Say it. F. You see how your tongue come in, restrict vocal F. So it comes up I, A. Then we say B. So the tongue, they look at restriction. They look at the sounds that it make, the consonant, the vowel. Now this is important for us. Simply why? That's how you speak. Yahuwah. You said sound of it. That's how I get. If you fell out and you couldn't breathe, I could open your mouth, because now nothing's restricting. You need air. Do you need me to begin you some? Think about it. You're on the ground. You can't breathe. You see what I'm saying? Now you're getting more air. I can distribute more air, which is going to help you in recovery, right? So that's why when we start looking, my prejudice and hates and dislike can come back and look at what I'm faulting them for, we actually use. Y'all got it? Because it sounds, vibrations. Y'all got it? Adam could hear his what? His what? Who? Sound. Sound is what we're looking at. Sounds are what you're making. So when I'm speaking, there's also a sound to it. Y'all got it? So it was important for them to recognize sounds. Shaul told us, let's see what happened. 1 Corinthians, I'll come at 1 Corinthians 14 and 1 Corinthians 14, see if it's 7, probably 9 or 11, we'll see. Probably Romans, More Luke and John, one of them. I want y'all guys to be better than we are. I want all us to be better than we've been. And what I want y'all, and those y'all at home, this is for everybody. We ain't under nobody, we ain't under no command order from no other groups to tell us what we can't do when it come down to, we want to get down to the purest form of understanding of how it works, because when we don't, we're missing the real validity in the teaching. A lot of these people, they just basic. They just tell you what, they don't understand what stuff originates. They don't understand purpose. Like I just broke down hills and valleys. Does that not make sense? Because he kept telling them, Ephesians, he told you how he would have gathered them under him, just like a chicken gather broods. Where do they young come? They come under them. They come under protection of. When the chicken see her, they're gonna run right on them. They're gonna come right up on them. And she gonna get them right up under her wings. Same thing gonna do with us. When the people were there, he was on the two. Guess what he was doing? He was gathering her, just like a chick gather her broods.
That's right.
They're gonna come under because they know she's gonna fight for them.
That's right.
She's not gonna let them come under here. Sometimes kids they'll run up on you, they come greet you like, they be like, boy, got money in your mama coattail. It's kind of one of those mental type things that just are given. They run to where protection is. When he told her that Shema Yahuwah was a strong, what do the Sadiq do? And they're what? His name, his ship was on the two. So they ran under it for protection, just like chicks do under brood. People who would have known this would have been people who would have kept farm animals, as we call them today. So you're accustomed with their behavior. Okay? That makes sense? Whew, I got to work this out. This is 14:7. Listen.
And even things without Kai.
Nevertheless, what is that which has no spirit of life? See, that's a difference. It has no spirit. So now we're associating spirit with life. Even behavior. They said, boy, you got a spirit, you just mean. Boy, you got a spirit, you have it. All these attributes that I demonstrate are attributes you demonstrate when you're living. Okay? So he's telling you, what is that which has no spirit of life and gives voice of
whether pipe or harp, except they give a distinction in the sounds, how shall it be known what is piped or harped?
Oh, listen. And gives the call sound of flute or harp, if they do not make a distinction which he is able to shama. How can I follow? How can I do and perform if it's not clear? You can't expect me to do it if it's not clear. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you said, and then how am I going to perform it? It doesn't even make sense. So he's using some as carnal as instruments having no life, yet you cannot get the same sound from a flute you get with a harp. There's a distinction in the sounds. So when you're giving information, it has to have a distinction if you're going to get the required behavior that you're seeking. Got it? Otherwise, I'm not able to listen or to know. Let's see something. See if that's Ala Shemut 32:4. They call it Exodus. Kuf. So, well, do one. That's fine. We'll read down. Let's see what happened. Listen.
And when the saw that Mushah delayed to come down out of the Har, the gathered themselves together unto Aharon, and said unto him, Up, make us Elohim, which shall go before us. For as for this Mushah, the Ish that brought us up out of the Arats of Misraim, we wot not what is become of him.
We don't know what happened to him.
And Aharon said unto them, break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your Nashim, of your Beni, and of your Banud, and bring them unto me. And all the brake off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aharon. And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graving tool, after he had made it a molten calf. And they said, these be thy Elohim, O Yasharal, which brought thee up out of the Arats of Mizraim.
So let me ask you something. Hold on before we move. Okay. He took it from their hands and fashioned it with a gravening tool. Can we look up what gravening is? Because if you use grave is probably going to show you highly dignified. I think grave is highly dignified. I want to see what put gravening tool. Yeah. I don't think you're supposed to have, I think that E, gravening, probably drop that E, yeah, and make it an I. Oh, graver tool, okay. Engraving tool, called gravers, are precise instruments. They must be made from top quality steel, shaped and shapen to specify angles and fittings into handles that provide comfort and control. Commercially available gravers are made from highly, okay, let's look at this. So this gravening tool are precise instruments, okay? They must be made from a top quality steel, shaped and shapen to specify angles. That's why we got Yahushua. He's a gravening tool. That's what we're using to fashion ourselves. And let's see what, pick me up right quick if you would. See if there's Alaph, Cuff, 1:14. All right, let's see what we did there. They call it 1 Peter. See, what we got to do is not try to miss key components. Alaph, Cuff, 1:14, okay? I don't know how it reads him, but I know how it reads for now. See if it makes sense. Makes sense, Lee? Let's see. How about the rest of y'all? All right, let's see. I think I'm walking downhill. I'm getting short as I walk. All right, listen.
As obedient benin,
listen,
not fashioning yourselves according.
Do not conform to, but not fashioning. Now, we just learned about fashioning, didn't we? What were they fashioning? A calf to make it their mighty ones. Now, what did they use?
Graven.
A graven, something that was precise, something that was made of top quality to be able to trying to get the end top result. They didn't just take gold and said, throw it on the ground, that's it. It needed to be fashioned a certain way. So now Koph is coming along telling us as the benin of obedience. Now, if you're children, who are you going to associate children to? To who? Abba, that's right, Abba, and it got an aim. Because the aim is what puts you in the direction. The Abba is just a strong person of the house. Now he told you as children that obey, that shama, don't just listen, but you walk by, you live by, you begin to act and follow those protocols. Do not be conformed. Conform is your old acts. Now they use not fastening to the
according to the former lust in your ignorance.
See that? Now he talked about your former lust. Why you think those people formed the gods of Mizraim? That's what that was, a former behavior pattern. See, we needed to know that. So now when I start to begin to demonstrate a behavior, I got to make sure it's not a behavior that I used to exemplify. Because that's formal. That means I'm fashioning again. I'm going back. And the reason why I'm probably going to do it because I'm feeling like I have time. The only reason they built that, they had time, remember? Mushah was delaying when he was coming. You see what I'm saying? So what did Shaul try to teach me about time? And knowing the time, you said that is what? To await. For now, Yeshua is nearer than we first started. So I can't sit here and say he's delaying. I have all this ample amount of time to do something that I used to do. So I don't want to take the tools that he's given me to go back and reconstruct old behaviors that put me into condemnation.
That's right.
So it makes sense why he used Yahushua to form us. That's right. They used something that was designed specifically to make those idol gods, to make the acts of what they used to have. That's right. So now it's important for us to understand what is he using to try to transform us. He said you had to be transformed by the renewing that ye may prove. That's always, you got to prove all things. Yahuwah told you, paying your tithe, what is he going to do? Why am I sitting here when I pick up my stuff and I'm giving this man a part of my stuff? Because he said, I'm going to prove you. I'm going to show you. I'm going to give you evidence that I will give you more than you gave me. Okay? So now, with this new information, this new mind, I can prove what is tube and who's going to understand acceptable? The Kohan. And the Kohan would be able to demonstrate when I bring something to hypothetically, use you as an animal, hypothetically, with a limp. Come bring to me, ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm finna bring it so I can offer it up. But in the Kohan, see, you're going to see it saying, I couldn't take it. What's right? It's got a defect. Where? Look at the leg. Look at the leg limp. I couldn't take it. It wouldn't be, he won't accept it. You'll be wasted. He won't accept it. So now he's showing me next time I get one, I'm getting ready to get another one. I got to take one from the sheet. Come on, get another sheet. Look at that limp. I already know not to take that. That's not going to work. Don't even waste my time. And I said, let me pray about it first. Let me see what the Lord tell me. Because I'm just a man anyway. See, that's what the whole thing with him trying to give us Murray teachers. He said, no more. Everybody not going to be sitting around teaching themselves. Where you go, man? Ain't nobody right, man. I really just study for myself. He said, no. He said, we're not doing it. He said, no, every man not going to teach himself. They're not doing that. He said, all going to know me from the least to the greatest. He said, we're not doing that no more. So that's why it's important for us to sit down and for us to understand. And I want you to understand how I think, how I operate, and how I look at things. So now you at least got something to base off of. That makes sense? People just we never looked at, what's your ideology? People, y'all went to college. Most of y'all don't even know what your professor ideology was. There's no way, listen, there's no way part of my belief not going to be in your teaching. You take people that studied, got degrees in the same thing, let them talk, I guarantee they'll start arguing about stuff. And the stuff they're going to argue about is going to be their professor's own ideology. It ain't going to be book, it's going to be ideology that their professor taught them. I don't pay attention to none of that right there, just ignore it. I don't know how you know this in the book. But really, am I making this? Y'all know it don't. So people go and see white people, they're going to look at that. They're going to make sure political affiliation because it's all going to be involved in your education. Why you think that predominantly black schools are less educated? Because it's a political issue. How you think funding is broke down to going in these deals? Because it's about it's politics. Why we still got the same president in the school, fella? It's politics. It's people that need to keep their principle to make sure you guys don't succeed. Yep. Politics is in education. Religion is in education. Okay. They'll show you, you'll get white schools. Watch the schools that get these kids, and they'll have these black kids, and they'll start teaching them about slavery, and they'll do a skit or do something in class that'll be offensive to the black kid. They're going to have a Republican agenda. They're trying to teach the majority of white kids that you rule over them. Why would you do something? That's just stupid. Because they got affiliation. They know exactly what they're doing. They already know they're not going to do it. They don't need, go in the hood and teach that stuff. They already know what's going to happen. We're not going to make it like this building. In the hood, you find out a rope got thrown on some little black kid head. Man, nigga going to come from all over like toys and call them animals out the jungle. They're like, man, what? A white teacher throwed a rope around there, said, see, student, watch this. This is my slave. They're going to teach in a school where it's going to be predominantly white, and the blacks are going to be few.
Yep, that's right.
They already know that because them parents are going to have an educated way of dressing it versus I'm coming with my gun, I'm going to kill all of them when I get there. Somebody getting their behind kicked up in this school today. They know how to do that stuff at. Everything you got. So that's why I'm telling y'all how I think. And you need to know that. How does this man think? This is what you're going to live by. You're going to get and you'll let your life, and you're going to let this thing encompass your life. You need to know how a person thinks. How do you view this? What's your likes and dislikes when you teaching? Okay? So as the benim of obedience, do not conform to the lust that you have longed for while you are still without. So, let me ask you a question. Why y'all think those people built that calf? No knowledge. See? So the reason why you need to know that, because now you ain't got to pray, oh Lord, I'm so confused. Why did they do What you mean why they did it? Because they was in ignorance. They had just been brought out and said, hey, these folks ain't got no Torah. They ain't got no direction. Why wouldn't they? I don't know how long he gonna be gone. I don't know. I just know he went up. So you left me to my own devices. So now he's coming back saying, this has been one of you guys' failure. Not knowing. You see why it made sense for him to give us something? Let's see. See if that Yirmiyahu, hold on, we're flipping for sound. Yirmiyahu, y'all can get that though. 3:15, hold that for me. So that you have longed for while you are still without, because it said ignorance. That's all ignorance is. For you so ignorant, and we took it, who you calling stupid? Well, at that point, it's going to be you now. I wasn't, but since you done pushed the envelope, now you're stupid. All it meant when you were ignorant, this means, you know how many times, folks, somebody call you got offensive, and sometimes they call you stupid, they called you dumb. When that's not actually what they call it, just mean you without knowledge. But when we don't know the meaning of words, then you'll tend to fight something because you don't know. You assume you were insulted. It went, who you calling retarded? Your mama retarded. We never said about retarded, but now since you brought it up, I'm really looking at, this is probably what I should have said. Because now, you see, because we don't know. Okay? Hold on, I want to finish that first. Don't go there yet. I want to finish what I got first. But they're going to get ready for that next. Let's see the next verse. Listen, but.
As he which hath called you is Kodash.
The word but means rather. Instead of, so it's important to recognize what words mean. As simple as words like but, and, in conjunction, join some, connect something. You got it? But just means rather. Instead of you being ignorant, instead of you doing what you used to do when you didn't know, when you were wrong, rather, as he which is called you, is in
all manner.
He also said conversation, which is going to be the same thing, conduct. Conversation got a conduct. So in everything he doing, he said all your conduct be Kodash, because that's what he is. See? Just like the one who called you, he is Kodash. So how about you be Kodash in all your conduct?
That's right.
I mean, you separate it. You separate. Because it's for a particular purpose, okay? That makes sense? All right, Yirmiyahu 3:15. Yah, I'm sorry, Yah. I said here, Yah, Yirmiyahu. They might spell it here, though. Yerim. Here we go. Listen.
And I will give you roim according to my law, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding.
They're going to feed you on knowledge and understanding. That's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be giving you information. Knowledge, by definition, means a range of information. They're going to be giving you a lot of things that you're going to need to know, a lot of information that you're going to need to know that's going to help you better in this walk. This is not a walk that we could do on just our imagination, our thoughts, our ideas. You have to have a lot of information, and you got to be able to composite all that information. But what's going to be, well, a lot of people got information, but now what's going to get you is being able to understand the information. That's like school. You're a teacher. You give them a lot of, you can give them a whole bunch. So I give you guys a lot of information. I don't see how you feeling. And then they'll sit around and look and say, you know why? Because we don't understand it. So you see the component of how he established. Now y'all can judge y'all for yourself whether or not if you would kind of understand that by having a rod that give you a lot of range of information and understanding. Because he said that's what my law is to do. Now, people that watching it, they got past, they not getting no information. Arrange. That's what not arrange it. Do y'all just get? We just stay the book. We got to go outside because we got to get all these things to composite just so we can condense it down that we can really understand what we got, right? And conjunction.
Understand.
Does this sound like y'all? Does it sound like y'all could possibly be those people that you could be in their predicament?
Yes, sir.
That you could have one of the roims that's shepherding you, which is a shepherd after his own law, that's feeding you on knowledge and
understanding.
That's why so that's why you got to know for yourself what is concrete. Well, I ain't sure. I got to pray about that one. This is something you can easily identify for yourself. Whether you get a range of information and do you understand it? Hello? Hold you guys. Say that the book of Matthew, chapter 13 and verse 49. They call it Matthew 49. Listen.
So shall it be at the end of the alarm.
Or the age.
The Malachim shall come forth and sever the Rasha from among the Sadah.
So what are they going to be? What is the wicked going to be? Kudash. He got it. How many disagree with this? That's a crazy thing. He's saying the wicked going to be Kudash. He going to come and separate the wicked. How many of y'all agree with that? He just didn't holler this stuff out. Come by for a minute, kid. I need somebody to do a commercial for him. Come by for a commercial right quick. Welcome. If y'all wait, we'll do a commercial break right quick. Just dance or something for right quick. Yeah, I know what the answer is. We were trying to get the kids so they can learn how to do the answer too. So yeah. Rightly wrong, like rightly wrong, you know what I'm saying? So you understand that part. So I'm trying to work with the kids too, so they'll learn with us. We got that. That's on my baby. You know what I'm saying? We can go to a commercial break and then everybody good. Hold on. No real dancers were injured during the video, during this commercial break. Yeah. So y'all heard what his answer is? Because he's saying that what he's going to do is that he shall come at the end of the ages. The Malachi, the messenger, shall go forth and separate the wicked from among the Sadiq. So he said that, what would you say that was? That they were going to be Kodash, the wicked. Anybody agree with that? What's up? Any of y'all agree with that? Who agree with him? Let me see y'all hands up. Raise them up so they can see y'all. He is exactly right. Remember, Kudash, let me see what the definition of Kudash is. I want y'all to see Kudash, okay? So when you're Kudash, all Kudash mean is to separate, okay? You're either separating it for a good purpose or a bad purpose, okay? If it's a bunch of stuff, they say, take this stuff in here and throw it in the trash. If I say take this stuff here and throw it in the trash, it's gonna have to be distinguished. Got it? Separated or marked, okay? You're either gonna mark it or you're gonna set aside. If I just put along with good stuff, you're gonna mess around and throw the right stuff in the wrong place. And you're gonna throw the wrong stuff somewhere that should have been where the good stuff needs to go. So Kudash only means to separate, okay? That's it. Okay. This is Kudash. A person set apart to idolatry, foreign gods, holy only unto that idolatrous cult, but unholy to Yahuwah. So this is some right here. This is Kudash, and this is a person who set aside because they did something wicked. They serve idol gods like Christianity. Christian, they're Kudash because they're separated for idolatry. Okay, so that shows that Kudash can be used in more than one way. Okay, this is Kadash, to be clean, ceremonially or morally. Y'all got it? That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be clean ceremonially. Now, how we look at that being ceremonially, being clean for us, we'll look at that and use something carnal that we all can recognize, we can agree with. Okay? See that the 19th chapter of the book of Kazum, 19:1. I'll come back to that Matthew after a while. 19 and 1. Okay, let's see that. This is Kazun, they call Revelation 19 and 1. We're looking at ceremonially clean, okay? Listen.
And after these things, I shama a great call of much and shamayim, saying, Hallelujah, Yeshua and Kabod and Kabod and power unto Yahuwah our Elohim.
Mm-hmm.
For Amat and Sadiq are his mashpat.
That's right. The reasons, because mean the reason of. This, we'll use a hypothetical. Okay, hypothetical, you talking. Okay, you talk. Come on. I want you to shut up. You ask me because I'm gonna whoop your behind if you don't. So now we're using that to show the reason and why. Okay. So when we look at, he telling you why. Why would they just be hollering all this? Hallelujah to him. Why? What's the reason? Because all his mashpots. Y'all got. I mean, it's just important. Because of his judgments. They're Amat and they're Sadiq. That's why. How you say hallelujah? Spirit just had me. Why is it hallelujah? I mean, why I'm saying hallelujah? Hallelujah, because hallelujah. There ain't no reason. You know what I'm saying? People, we don't understand. They're telling you why. I'm in Shamayim. Why? Because his mashpots. They're the Amat. His stuff is the truth. That's why we're saying it to him. That belong because it makes sense. They're true and they're Sadiq. Listen.
For he hath Shaphat the great whore, which did corrupt the Arats with her Zanu, and hath avenged the dam of his Abadim at her hand.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. His judgment was right. He came and avenged us, just like he said he would. That's right. He recompensed. They were right, and that's the truth. That's the right thing to do. He gave a retribution to the great prostitute who corrupted the Arats. Well, her Zanu. And he has avenged the dam of his Abadim on her hands. He made her guilty for him because she played the part. Who we going to look at? Who we going to associate this to? Who we going to associate this? He said tomorrow. Give me somebody. Yazabel. He is exactly right. Yazabel, she had Nabaems. And she used it to help seduce the people. And he said he came back and he recompensed them on her hands. If y'all remember, she was in the wonder. And when he saw, he told them who throw her down. And when they throw her down, the dog sat and ate her body. You ain't gonna believe it, they left the palms of her hands. He's out, put it on her hands. When they throw it out the window, that's what they found her. They ain't found her but her head and her hands and her feet. He's out, when they heard, they said, listen, it's hallelujah. Hallelujah, because the mashpots were right. People moved at her hands. Simple, but I want you to understand why. All right, come on. Listen.
And again they said, Hallelujah, and her smoke come up for Olam.
What do we pay attention to? His statues. What do we pay attention to? What do we pay attention to? Anybody can think? Say what? Say it louder. Say it louder. He established it. How he established it? That's right, what I told you the second time. Because you got your Torah. You weren't supposed to believe it the first time. Your laws are at the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. That's how everything's established. Mm-hmm. That's sometimes when you'll read and you'll find something that already you read before. You say, I read this already. That's your Torah. That's how it was established. Okay, I guess that ain't important, y'all. Don't worry about it. I need y'all to remember that discipline. Your Torah tells you 2 to 3 times. How much you got? See if that 2 Corinthians 13:1. So y'all to learn this, okay? 2 Corinthians 13:1. Oh, what would he say? So y'all know this ain't preacher talking, okay? All right, let's see. Listen.
This is the third time.
The third? How do you get three?
After 1 and 2.
You got to have first and a second, right?
I am coming to you. In the paw of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every debar.
Every word is to be established by the paw of 2 or 3 witnesses. That's why they told him the second time. See, this is what we have to look at. What has hurt us all this time? In fact, we just taking stuff. I mean, it's what is on just because he said it. That's enough for me. How many times did he say it? See, there's always a purpose and a reason. Just like Yahushua, you know, when we really recognize he would have been Elohim, he was the second one.
Yeah.
We based it off of something. He was the second one. So Adam accepting him should have been the first difficult step because we don't have another witness. But Yahushua made second. He was the second. And guess what we did? We established him. That's why he set him down. It's been established. So it doesn't make sense to come along and get validity on him and not have validity on everything else we're doing. So in Shamayim, when they said hallelujah and said that his judgments and that his statutes and all these were Sadiq and they were an Amat, they were the truth. Then they said it the second time. So you're gonna say, I know I can take this. Right. He's confirming us now. Right. He's confirmed so it can be established. Let's see what the definition of the word established. Established. Having been in existence for a long time and therefore recognized and generally, the book said that he was accepted of Elohim. Pay attention to this now, listen. Having been in for a, and therefore recognized and generally, the book said he was accepted of Elohim. You ain't gonna believe it. He tried to tell her before Abraham was, he was. Which means, how long? He been accepted for Allah. So you see why the book, now we can understand why the book said he was accepted of Elohim. Because he had been in existence for a long time. And he recognized him. When he asked the Abba to baraka him, and he told him, he said, I both did that, and I also do it again. And they looked, they were like, they tried to let him know. He said, this call. He said, it didn't come for my sake, it came for yours. The Abba recognized him. He told that the Abba harp to Ben. And he showed him all things that he himself does. He said, so you might among. Because he's been in existence for a long time. These things are so important for us. Everybody just assumed that just somebody just popped up. He didn't just pop up. There's reasoning and rationale behind his existence. And why we accept him as the Ben Elohim more than we do Adam, because he was that second one. That's the one that established us. Did Adam save us? No. Adam put us in derision. That's why we recognize the second one, because he established us. Make sense? How about my young people? That's why we recognize him. He was the second Adam. And y'all read that, y'all hadn't even thought nothing about it. He was the second one, wasn't it? Because that's the one we're going to establish us. Okay? That's the one been in existence for. Adam is moot. Yahuwah existed longer than him and still exists. Hello? Okay, come into what we got. All right. 19 and 3 Kazun they call Revelation, and a second time they said,
hallelujah. And her smoke come up olam and olam.
Well, we can't afford to mess up. Come on.
And the 24 Zakanim and the 4 beasts fell down, and Shakar Elohim that sat on the throne, saying, Amen, hallelujah.
So that's saying the truth, or saying they believe. All right, listen.
And a coal came out of the throne, saying, Tahala our Elohim, all ye his Abadim, and ye that Yahweh him, both small and great.
So that the people that gonna get him to Tahalim are people, first of all, that submit themselves to, they're his abadim. Servants submit to a master. And he told us about a book of Malachi, the first chapter. What does he tell us about him? He said if he was a master, what was his fear? So that's why he would have told Abadims about they should know how to serve. Got it? Mm-hmm. Not only that, they also have fear of their master. Who gonna know that better than us? Ain't that right? We got to fear our master, and we've been serving America. Well, Yahuwah said, guess what? I'm gonna done. Then I want my fear. Because you feel the master can get rid of you, he can kill you. He said, a small wit the great. Come on.
And Aishama, as it were the coal of a great multitude, and as the coal of many Ma'im, and as the coal of mighty thunderings, saying, Hallelujah, for Yahuwah Elohim omnipotent reigneth.
See that? Oh, now, that's the third time. We're establishing, come on.
Let us be glad and rejoice and give kabod to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his Ashah hath made herself ready.
She did what now?
Made herself ready.
I want to say ceremonial. Listen, verse 8.
And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white.
Bright and pure.
For the fine linen is the Sadiq of the Kodashim.
He said it's the righteous act, Sadiq acts of the Kudash ones, the people that are ceremonially clean. Because ceremonially, when a woman get married, what is she supposed to wear? Stained up, dirty. Now they went probably with a purple dress for their wedding. It wasn't, because part of the ceremony was her to wear white. Because it was a part of her being bright, being able that she illuminates, and that she's clean. So this is the second Kodash. That's why we use ceremonially, because we're going to look at a wedding. Traditionally, you're going to come in and wear white. It illuminates. It's a sign of purity and being clean. Well, he said, well, that's the Sadiq of the Kodashim, or what they would call the saints. Y'all got, and you know they ain't in New Orleans. I heard one of them. I know now. That was Cannon. That was them men. That joke got some hand. That joke will slap you, boy. That's done. You got to pray mightily, right? So y'all understand that now? When we're talking about ceremonially, we're gonna look at because you look at ceremony because they're getting ready to perform an act or duty. So we had to be kudash for that, right? Being clean, right? Without any imperfections, any defects, okay? So this is a kudash too. So you can be wicked, be wrong, and you can be kudash. But you're being separated for destruction. Just like you put dirty clothes in one hamper, clean clothes in another one. Well, both of them are kudash. One you're going to distribute, you're going to put in the machine and make it rough through so you can clean it to get it to where the other the clothes are that are already clean. Y'all got it? So that's our purpose while we're here. Let's go back to what we were holding. What we had. Now I ain't got to go back. Now let me finish. 32. Ooh, Allah Shamu, so I can get them finished. Because he told her, as our Abba was Kudash, so be Kudash in all manner of conversation. And why was that again? Why are we supposed to do it? That's everything we do, because it was written. Because it was Katab. You need a reason why. Why I got to be like him? Because it was written. What was it written? So what? What was it written? Somebody said Torah. What was it written? What was it written? Well, if we go to Barashit, the first chapter, when he made us, he wants to make us like him. That's the heard prayer saying, let him have. If he was going to make us a his image, his likeness, and we found out as he was Kudash, what did Adam had to be? And what? And that's why he got rid of him out of the garden, because he was not Kudash in all manner. That's why he got rid of him. He's like, I'm Kudash. And everything he said I do, he said I'm Kudash. It was written when he made him. When he made him, he got to be like me. So I mean, he needs to know about me and what I do, right? He's got to portray the same act. I'm going to give all these things the fear of you, the dread of you, just like you have of me. That's why he ran and hid himself when Yahuwah came. I was afraid. Man, that scared me to death when I heard you coming. He said, I put that on the animals for you. You have it for me, they have it for you. When you don't fear me, they don't have fear for you. Hello? All right. Trying to help y'all out. They used to have a fear of us. They used to. But we lost our fear. And there was no way he gonna let us keep ours. Just like in marriages with us. Why we'll have difficulties in our marriage. Because it's important for the each to understand his relationship with Yahuwah. Hello? That's just being honest. It's important for us to understand our relationship with Yahuwah. And where we actually have to be with Yahuwah. He'll allow her to be able to submit and to succumb to what we give her to do. But the first thing we have to do is we got to succumb to where we're supposed to be at. Right. Don't worry about what you just shut your mouth and do what I tell you. And that's the same thing you do when I tell you something. You don't feel like it's important for you to acknowledge what I tell you. When I'm saying what I tell you, that's not me, the person, or me. I'm saying from him. He's looking at us. When I tell you something, you fight me. You always fight me back with something because you always fight me. So we understand how everything encompasses. It don't make sense. I don't do what he tell me. I don't follow what he said, and then stuff just work out for me. What does this tell me about serving him and getting better? Why would I get better? Why? If he just let it keep going, I ain't doing what I'm supposed to do right here, and she's submissive, doing and following, coming to what she's supposed to. They ain't working out on the job, just got another raise, got one yesterday, and I got 3 more this week. What is this telling me? What is this telling me about fearing him and the knowledge of him? None. No reason to. But things ain't going right on the job. Things ain't going right in the home. I don't know where my next dollar dime come from. I'm starting to do what? Inventory consider. So he's making me realize I need to start looking at what's going on. Things ain't right. That's why he set these situations up. That's why I told y'all when we do crops and we do stuff, we just leave it like he told us. They don't make it. It ain't without reasoning. But when we get the other outside influence that come in, you do them. Then we tend to think that he gave us favor. There's no way he knew we weren't going to get in droughts and flood, tornadoes and earthquakes. If he didn't, I don't need him. I need somebody to see further than me. I could just watch the weather station. If this threw him and he didn't know all this stuff was going to come up and I'm going to still need to eat, I'll just be honest with you. This flavor, I can't use him. He'll be killing time with me. I know some stuff. I don't know everything. I'll be honest with you, but you ain't going to help me. We're going to have a problem. Because I'm going to need somebody to see way further than me. Isn't that right? And words still be, he said, I'm going to have to change up some stuff. I didn't know Joe Biden was going to get in office. You're like, what? Them dirty crackers stole the election from Donald Trump. You're like, hold on, man. I ain't used to all this. You know what I'm saying? Tupac was more of a visionary than that. He told about George Bush coming in 2000. So it's like, and I say it humorously, but at the same time, it's important to recognize, and it's important for him to get, you'll look at people like Amish, a lot of those people, they stay with hope. They just do use electricity. They won't use, some of them now doing tractor. A lot of them wouldn't. They'll stay with the horse and buggy. They'll stay with them pulling a plow. They won't do it. A lot of them won't do it. They'll feel like you kind of leaving course for how he said it. They, although ignorant to the bar, they look at this is symbolic. That if we do these things a certain way, he's going to barak this, which they're going to say bless. We hear people that'll sell out from a lot of things. I'm not saying now electricity and tractors make you sell out. But we've done it in other aspects. We started getting the hydroponics. We start trying to grow into. I don't want. That's not my cup of tea. I'm not interested. Cause if it don't make it, he gonna make me consider. I'm gonna have to look and realize why did I lose this whole crop? Why did they? And if for real, I ain't supposed to say, you know what, man? Probably some old dirty cracker did. No. Probably my dirty behavior. Well, like my disobedience. My ill will to not do what he told me and conform what he said, and I know to go back, and you ain't gonna believe it. What it is? Talking about back what I used to do when he used to give me my crop. Go back and do that work over and watch your seed, and watch your seed. Same thing in multiplying our bet with the same thing here. When certain behaviors are performed, then guess what? These are the benefits. When certain behaviors aren't conducive to salvation, this the retribution. Okay? That's how I see it. Got it? Okay, it's 32 and 4. Shemut, listen.
And he received them at their hand and fashioned it with a gravening tool.
See that? And did what?
After he had made it a molten calf.
And he made it a molten calf. See, he needed something to do that. Just like being saved, this is the tool that we use to construct us. This is the tool. Well, don't worry about it. And y'all ever seen the Masonic symbol?
Yes.
You'll see two pillars, strength and knowledge. Then you'll see a grave and you'll see a tool there because that's the tool of your trade. That's the tool you use to build. That's what you're using. And this is the tool we use to construct us. This is what we use. This is the tool that we're using to construct us and fashion ourselves into what he desired. Even when it came down and he told her, and now Yahuwah tool is his hand. Now he took Yirmiyahu down and sent him down to the potter house. And now he seen him work well on the wheel. And then he seen him take it and he began to fashion it into something that he liked. So he knew how to use his hand like a tool to conform it to a certain shape. And when he looked and considered, that's not what I want. He took his hand and he marred it, destroyed it, and took it and fashioned it again. And he said, and Yirmiyahu sitting here looking, just like we would try to figure out, why am I here? I'm just watching this man do this stuff. He sent me down here for a reason. And I'm sitting here watching this man just see him, and he working with this wheel, with this making a pot vessel. And then he took his hand and destroyed it. He's trying to figure out, why did he sit here and just do that and then take it and just mar it and just tear it up with his hand? And then he fashioned it back over again and looked and said, this one I won't destroy. I like this one. And he let him know, saying, Yirmiyahu, I want you to tell the whole house of Yasharal, this is how they are in my hands. I made them, and they became something I didn't like, so I destroyed them for a purpose, to build and make them back to something I like. That's right. Then he understood. Yahuwah graving the tool is his hands. They specified for it. That was Yahushua able to show his hand is our graving tool. That's what we're using to fashion ourselves. Okay? Okay. Go ahead. Where we left off? Did we read all this?
No, sir.
Okay, where we at? Come on.
And they said, these be thy mighty ones, O Yasharal, which brought thee up out of the Arats of Mizraim.
Mm-hmm.
And when Aharon saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aharon made proclamation and said, tomorrow is a muhad to Yahuwah.
Mm-hmm.
And they come up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought shalom offerings. And the alms sat down to eat and to drink and come up to play.
No sooner they got through. Come on.
And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, go, get thee down, for thy arm, which thou broughtest up out of the Arats of Mizraim, have corrupted themselves.
See that? Look right. Come on.
They have turned aside quickly out of the Darak,
Quick to turn aside from the Darak.
which I amar them. They have made them a molten calf, and have shakah it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said,
Zabak to it. Should be Zabak. Yeah, Zabak. I got it. Uh-huh.
and have zabak thereunto, and said, these be thy mighty ones, O Yasharal, which have brought thee up out of the Arats of Mizraim.
Okay.
And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, I have seen this arm, and behold, it is a stiff-necked arm. Now, therefore, let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great gui.
So what you can compare this to? The potter. He made him, he was finna destroy him. Then he told you what he's gonna do, and I shall make of you a great gui. All I'm gonna do is go back, I'm gonna just take my hands, I'm gonna fashion another arm. I'm gonna destroy this one, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna fashion one to my light, one to my pleasure. Y'all understand that? Potter house. Not T.D. Jake Church. That's the pot smoking house. Verse 33. I'm sorry, verse 11 a minute. Listen.
And Moshe besought Yahuwah his Elohim, and said, Yahuwah, why doth thy wrath wax hot against thy arm, which thou hast brought forth out of the Arats of Mizraim with great power and with a mighty hand? Wherefore should Mizraim speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the Harim, and to consume them from the Pani of the Arats? Turn from thy fierce wrath, and repent of the Rosha against thy arm.
Come on, 13.
Remember Abraham, Yaksakak, and Yasharal, thy Abadim, to whom thou shabbat by thine own self, and saidest unto them, I will multiply your Zerah as the Kukabim of Shamayim, and all this Arats that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it Alam. And Yahuwah repented of the Rosha which he thought to do unto his arm.
Which he said he'll do to him. Come on. He considered it. Then,
And Moshe turned and went down from the Har, and the two tables of the testimony were in his hand. The tables were katab on both their sides. On the one side and on the other were they katab. And the tables were the work of Elohim, and the katab was the katab of Elohim, graven upon the tables. And when Yahushua Shama, the call of the arm, as they shouted, he said unto Moshe, there is a call of war in the camp.
That's right.
And he said, it is not the call of them that shout for mastery, neither is it the call of them that sayak for being overcome, but the call of them that shir do I shama.
So what happened to him from what y'all learned earlier? The sounds were all alike. So it was hard to distinguish what happened. But Moshe had opened his ear to discipline. Yahuwah had already told him what it was. When Yahushua heard it, he couldn't discern with one sound over the other one. It was hard to be distinguished of what it was. It sounded like they were down there fighting and they were shouting and that they had won. Then it sounded like it could be a cry that they heard down there. But Moshe let them know it was neither. It was them sitting there and they were singing and playing after they had transgressed. So that's why we look at, except they give a distinctive sound, just like with us. If we don't perfect the call that Yahuwah needs to hear, then we can't get salvation. That's right. See, in Mizraim, the sound was distinct.
Right.
Because he told them when he sent them, tell them, I call them Sayak. I heard them cry, and I've come down to deliver them, which meant what was the cry? It was the cry of somebody saying, I need to be saved. See, we'll sing the song, I'm crying Savior. He didn't tell us that. We're talking about a distinctive sound that he recognizes. That's how we obtain the salvation, Ruach HaKodesh, the deliverance. See, them being taken out of Mizraim was a physical idea of you seeing what salvation is, to be delivered. We'll say delivered, but still yet in the still in the workings of the captivity or whatever it is, or the detriment. He actually took them away from and placed them in a place for their safety. This is what we look for him to do for us. Grant us the Ruach HaKodesh. Then we're looking for the physical extraction, where he takes us away from here. You hear? When he come down, the book said, then shall we forever be with Yahuwah. Wherefore, nakum one another with these dabar, with these dabarim, with these words, because then there's a physical extraction. Y'all got it? And that's what we're looking to do. Before he took them out, he covered them with the dung. Hello? He covered them. He covered the back with the dung. And that's what we're looking for Yahuwah to cover us with that dung. Because we want to be delivered. What's significant about the dung? It's the life. Another thing about when you offer that zabak, that sacrifice, it was what it exemplified. No defects, no errors, no shortcomings. It had, listen, no spots, no wrinkle. All this is what he told you, just so you could even offer it, so he could accept it. So now that life is what he'll accept, because there's no defects, there's no shortcoming, there's no distinctive markings to be a defect to it or altercation. I'll accept that. So now we take the dam of that, I'll use that to cover your defects. I'll use that to cover your shortcomings, because I've accepted that kai. Y'all got it? That's why it was so important about Yahushua being accepted of him. So now if I ingest his kai, how can you not accept me? His life was acceptable. If I cover myself with those same works, then the Abba will have to baraka me. That's what we learned from who? Yaakov. He covered himself with a behavior pattern, and he got the baraka. Y'all got it? So what do we have to do? Same thing. See that? That's it. That's how we got it. We got to disguise ourselves, because this is what he accepts. Y'all got it? So I know we got a lot of work to do, and I talked a long time. I want to, most high willing, because I don't know how stuff goes, I want us to start going back and we'll look at these characters, because I want us to learn them and understand the history of them, so we'll get better. In doing that, what we'll use for reference to verify, and we'll go back through the book and make sure it patterns behavior. We don't want to take, oh man, yeah, we got all the history, oh, we got here, but you can't put it here. If you can't put it here, it doesn't make sense, or it's logical that what you're using for the definitions are right. Y'all that understand? I don't want to go take no definition there. Well, see, you ain't going to find it in the writing. You ain't going to be able to put it in the writing. Well, I don't know how I'm going to use it, because that's how you constructed the writings. That makes sense? Make sense? All right, that's two.